Ezio. Oh my god.
Yo, good morning.
Not steal this from Rapunzel actually came from these sticks. Do I have a plastic-free weave business on my hand?
You say it be me. What's good, broski?
It's $200 for a DEXA scan that takes 5 minutes. Just
I
because they can. Think about it. If you get help, you're worth it.
It's that time again where a lovely little game comes
Something
along
else this
and
morning.
lots of people message me saying, how do I get my controller to not feel terrible in it? In this case, we're talking on
I'm gonna do this for a minute. I really might have to do something else.
But I've had so many messages about how
I got a
to
painting
test out
sip
the
coming up.
outriggers.
And I gotta prep all the canvases for my painting set. Yo, good morning, guys. I'm saying. I don't understand how to do this shit. I was trying to go live on TikTok, but if for some reason it won't let me do it from my iPad, it just keeps telling me to copy the link, copy the link, copy the link. Hmm. They shouldn't even play the board. Yeah, I guess it won't let me do it from there. But when I try to go live from my phone, it lets me do it there.
What happened?
Look!
What the fuck?
Oh, I guess it won't let me go live from here.
Oh, for God's sake! What the fuck is the matter with you guys? That brand new thing a week old! There's a basketball!
So can you only go live from a desktop? I guess you got to install the live link. Yeah, you can only do it from your computer. Well, that means I can't do the TikTok and Instagram live at the same time. Right? She's been live for 8 hours. That's crazy. All right, so yeah, I guess you can only go live from a.
Out front! You get the ball.
So loud. Why is that so loud? All right, but yeah, like I was saying, I might try to paint for maybe 30, 40 minutes, but then I really got to start prepping these canvases for my paint. So it's not until the 19th. I got more than 10 days, but just to get shit done and out the way. What was I looking for? Oh, Napalm sent me some videos on art graders. I watched a little piece of one of them early this morning, but then I realized he sent me three. So we're gonna listen to some more tips and tricks for raiders. Oh, it's good coffee.
It's that time again where a lovely little game comes along and lots of people message me saying, how do I get my controller to not feel terrible here? And in this case, we're talking Arc Raiders. Now, granted, Arc has been out for a little while now, but I've had so many messages about how to get the best out of aiming in Arc Raiders, what you could do to get the most out of it, and just generally speaking, the settings that are going to give you success, or at least give you parity against people who are using powerful keyboard and mice setups. Arc Raiders has some fairly decent nuances to it that make it a little bit more complicated, both in terms of being a third-person shooter and also completely lacking the ability to rebind any buttons in the game itself. Well, without further ado, I figured I'd show you guys how to get the best out of Arc Raiders on all platforms, whether you're playing controller on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox, and what you could do to make the most out of Arc Raiders. Now, before we dive into the actual settings themselves, I do want to take a quick note on Arc Raiders' overall aim assist system. Aim assist in Arc Raiders, if I'm being entirely honest across all platforms, is incredibly strong. And you'll notice what I'm talking about in this demonstration here. Now, Arc Raiders does not have a rotational system. What I mean by that is that if you are moving your crosshair away from the target, there is not going to be a slowdown situation where you happen to just be instantly locked onto your opponent permanently. And as you can see here, if I'm panning left to right over a target moving right to left, we're not getting that sticky rotational aim assist that you would get in something like Call of Duty. What it does have is a directional aim assist system, which means that if I am moving in the same direction as my target, the aim assist is keeping me fairly center of mass. And in fact, I've noticed that different items like drones actually have different hitboxes in terms of how it ends up targeting that opponent. For example, as you can see, as I scan over this drone, it takes it away from the central mass and actually puts it on a pain point like one of the propellers and sticks to it. Now again, if I'm panning away from that target entirely, that system does not work very well. But if I'm staying in line with that target and moving directionally in the same direction as the target, you can see that the aim assist is incredibly powerful. Now, on human targets, the hitbox seems to primarily focus on central mass, as you can see here. If I move around this target, you're going to see that it's focusing predominantly on the general body of the character. But if I kick it up into a headshot, you can see that it does pretty much stay there. You do need some actual aim skill in Arc Raiders to get the most out of your weapons on controller. This game isn't going to do everything for you. But if your target is moving right...
Don't fight the game. Fight the developers. Just threw all my grenades and did my little 2 cent nigga. I'm out of here. I ain't got nothing else to help y'all with. And that's what I be telling. If I go in there with randoms, I tell everybody, bro, I'm still new to this shit. If y'all get in a big fight, I'm not gonna be able to help. I'm telling you now. I still got a level 1 Stitcher with some light ammo, nigga. I got a level 1 Stitcher, bro. I came here with a free loadout. I am not ready to fight. I am not ready to fight. I'm still looping, man. Level 10 or something like that. I think I'm level 10. I'm still trying to find loot so I can craft a level 2 shield. Well, I got some level 2 shields. I just be scared to use them shit because I know as soon as I go in there with that shit, I'm gonna die. So I need to have a bunch of backup stuff. I want to get all my backup stuff nice and good, and then I'll start using better loadouts. Oh boy, you got me the dog hot. Yo, Pete, I quest for like another hour and a half yesterday trying to find a fucking dog collar and still couldn't find that shit, dog. I went back to Berry City. I went back to the damn. I was going everywhere. Dog collar, dog collar. I was doing that and trying to find the little container to carry to the field depot. I found a field depot. I couldn't find a goddamn container to carry to the recycling thing in there, bro. I couldn't. And I tried for like 2 hours. Couldn't find nothing I was looking for. Just dying and dying. I did the same thing you did too, man. I had to extract when I was down. I'm trying to get out of there. They done shot me down. I'm crawling, struggling to hit the button. Palm sweaty as shit. And you don't be making it out that shit a lot by yourself, bro. And that's the thing with randoms. Like, it's hard to make it out by yourself. Well, for newbies anyway. But then when you go with randoms, motherfuckers be wanting to fight too much, or they just immediately run off by themselves. Like, why did you put yourself in a group lobby specifically to play with other players, and then as soon as the match starts, you just run off by yourself? Like, wait. It's like, hey guy, where you going? What are you? He's gone. Fuck it. Now we're a 2-man team. Now the one guy that ran off by himself, me and the other guy, I'm following him. He not even communicating. He don't even got his mic on. I'm like, bro, I can't hardly play like this. I hate when developers build games specifically for teamwork and communication. Specifically for teamwork and communication. And motherfuckers don't want to talk. They don't want to communicate. Why did you even say, yeah, I want to play with other players? You should have just selected solo and ran up in this bitch by yourself. Instead of saying you want to play with other players and then don't play with other players. That's almost any online game. I love it, but then it's like, they want us to talk to each other and strategize, right? That's how you win. I will say though, Arc Raiders, for the most part, does have the friendliest community. It's not every match you run in there that you're fighting people. That actually rarely happens. Most of the time, soon as you don't even gotta see people, if you just hear somebody running through the building, if you can hear people upstairs or downstairs, they'll already be like, yo, don't shoot. Hey, don't shoot. Like, nobody trying to shoot, bro. Hey, don't shoot. And I do the same thing. As soon as I can hear somebody close by, I don't even got to see you. If I can just hear you, are you on your mic? Yo, I'm friendly, bro. Do not shoot me. I actually followed one guy to the field depot. He was already carrying the little crate thing. And I'm like, because I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with that? He was like, I'm taking it to the field depot. I'm like, where? He was like, yeah. And he you could tell he was already looking. He was acting kind of suspicious. I was like, when you carry that shit, you can't pull your gun out and you walk slower. So I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna cover you while you do this, just so I can see you do it, so I know how to do it myself the next time. And that's all you do. Find one of them little containers, walk it to the field depot, and there's like a little machine you put it in, and then it just spits out some fucking gear and shit for you. And then after he did it, he was like, he only took like one or two things out of it. He was like, bro, you can have the rest of it. And then he dropped the gun for me too. He's like, oh, I got an extra pistol if you need one. I say the community in there is just mostly cool ass players who want to kill the robots and not kill other players. But when you do find them fucking PvP players, they're rough. Especially when they got gear and grenades and man, look. And they dodge rolling and all kind of shit, corner peeking, and I haven't downed another player yet. Even I've been in a couple shootouts, but I ain't never had no gun big enough to win that shit. Yo, started watching that Diddy documentary last night, and not gonna lie, yo. So we was listening to 50 Cent, and the producer, director of the documentary, did an interview slot, just talking about it and why they did it, and the timing and everything, why they want to do it now, blah 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 blah. But 50 said he chose her to direct it because he seen her work and she was a really good director. And it's really, really well put together. Like, I love documentaries. YouTube is my go-to for not just when I'm streaming, but like I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of like streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff. Like, I don't have accounts for that stuff. YouTube is free, and YouTube has almost everything on there for free, and especially like educational stuff. So most of the stuff I watch is like podcasts or like news stuff from alternative media and documentaries. And the Diddy documentary, it looks good. It's well paced. They have a lot of good footage, photographs. They interviewed some very prominent people. The interviews were well put together. Um, it's just a good watch, and it's not like you can tell 50 let somebody else do that shit, because how 50 be acting and fucking cutting up, just trolling people, you think like it would be something trying to really, really like mock him or clown him or something, and it's not. It's really just trying to show the progression of Sean Combs into Puff Daddy or Diddy, and everybody said like he just changed. I don't idolize anybody, but I'm still fascinated with Tupac's life and his accomplishments and everything he did in 27 years. Like 6 movies, 2 books of poetry, 5 albums, like all the videos. Like he accomplished a lot in a very short span of time, and that's pre like internet, really. Before the internet was really popping. Um, but some people really close to Pac said he had an imposter syndrome personality where, yeah, his mom was a Black Panther, and there were some struggles and there was addiction, but they said that Pac really wasn't this fucking tough guy he started to portray later in his career. He kind of formed this James Dean type personality after he was given these thuggish roles, like from Sunset Park and Juice, and being able to play these really, tough guy characters. And then the stuff that was going on in the industry at that time. And if you listen to his first album, Tupacalypse, like he was a positive rapper. And for the most part, he stayed positive with his music, but he did try to put on this tough guy persona. And a lot of people said that shit was kind of an act. Pac was a soft, gentle, sweet guy, and this motherfucker did. I think he did catch a body. If I ain't mistaken, Pac killed somebody. Snoop killed somebody. Money doesn't make you; it amplifies who you already are. And that's what somebody else said to my kicking the enemy while he down. Like when you look at all the shit that Puff has done, like why would that's like somebody taking up for Hitler? Like, oh, you trying to kick him while he's down? Like, and not saying that Puff is Hitler, but this nigga not no nice guy. Who gives a fuck? He's been charged with crimes. Like he's a criminal. Like, I'm not kicking nobody while they down. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just saying what it is. Somebody's like, why you kicking while they down? Like, man, fuck that shit. We waited till that's what 50 said. We waited till everything was over and the facts came out, and we're just going on the facts. Jeffrey Dahmer got locked up. Ain't nobody gonna be like, oh, you kicking the man while he's down. I remember the Bad Boy era though. Like he was like a Superman. You know what I'm saying? The young Puff, that nigga was like Superman. Nothing could really stop him. I thought I told you we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Take that, Bad Boy. And you know what I didn't realize? I didn't realize he put Jodeci on. I did not know that. I did not know Puff Daddy gave Jodeci their shot. But then it's not just, I mean, in the documentary, they talk about a lot of different people and just like the environment of the industry at the time, a lot of other major players in the game. Um, you know, the record label execs and how Puff got his first A&R internship and I don't know. Most people are not concerned with celebrities, period. And then being starstruck and like all involved with celebrities is normally something for the youth, like younger people trying to find their identity or you know role models to look up to, and most advertisements are for younger people, and so they're more susceptible to um, getting caught up in the goings on of popular people in society and celebrity stardom. But Puff isn't a young person, and he's not from this new generation of, you know, pop music and rap. So I don't know if like young people would even give a fuck to watch this documentary. And then I don't know if a lot of people our age would give a fuck to watch the documentary because it's about a celebrity. But then at the same time, like when we went to go pull it up last night, we turned Netflix on, and it's the first thing. You know how Netflix have the advertisements showing as soon as you click on it, and the first one that was up there was Puff Daddy, The Reckoning, or what? The Reckoning is what they called it, or whatever. I was like, damn. Go ahead, 50. How much you paid for that, bro, to get that shit right up there to the top? Or, you know, does Netflix realize that this is going to be a moneymaker and they're trying to push it as hard as they can? Because it was literally the first thing I saw when that shit came. I was like, God damn. They want everybody to watch this shit. I have FlixNet. All right, where we going next? They got this shadow, which is deeper than here, but this shadow is still lighter than this. So I might go here first and then figure out that transition. Right. All of that is looking okay for right now. This little area. I got Instagram running, but nobody's joined us yet. Kind of man, I'm hating to add gray to my green, but it's kind of a grayish green right there in that shadow. Okay, so this is dark, this is light, this is dark. I'm gonna do more of a wash. Actually, I'm trying to add a little more medium than normal so we can glide it a little better. Might be too dark right there, but I think it'll still work. Still gonna have, that's too light. I have this shadow still come down. So come over here. That. Right? And then it's gonna be a little more of that grayish green right there. The shadow's looking funky. I like it. I just hope I can get this transition good. So this is going to be the darkest right about here. And then once more, add a little more green to my gray. A little more green to the gray. Not too green, not too gray. I'm gonna add a little white, a little smidget, so you can lighten up a little. They don't need to be too dark. So this shadow sweeps around, comes right here. This is another dark section here, right? But comes closer here. It sweeps back. It's gonna be dark right here. All right. Laying down some shadows, laying down some shadows. We're almost at an hour already. I felt like I really haven't done anything in here, but it is what it is. Like I say, guys, we're gonna probably, oh man, I know it's super cold over there. We're probably gonna move across the hall and set up our projector so I can trace these down 25 canvases. Get these 25 canvases done. Just go ahead and knock them out. And then I will need to paint one. And as I paint it, I will come up with the instructions for the participants. I just need to walk myself through it first to see which is the easiest way to go about painting it using some acrylics. But then, damn it, that's the other thing too. I was waiting to use the colors that I will actually use that day, and they haven't come in the mail yet. So at least if I just sketch it up today, I'll be ready as soon as the paint gets here. Because I don't want to paint an example with colors they don't have access to, because then everybody will be like, well, I don't have that blue. I can't get that shade of red. But if I use their same color kit, I was like, yes, you can. I use the exact same colors you have. And I'll show you how. Okay. And it swings around. Swings around and then come on down. Actually, this is going to be brighter right to the edge. Right? From here, yeah, so it's going to be this edge is bright. So we'll be running into there. And then get right up in there. Remove my white and my deletion. We're gonna get this here. Okay. I might turn Instagram off. Like I said, I try to do it for the young ladies I'm actually painting. Like I said, I don't think they follow my YouTube. But today, I'm gonna take a update photo and send it to them. Man, that's crazy.
Happen to be moving your crosshair right with them, you're going to notice the aim assist is pretty powerful. In fact, you can see in this instance here, as I try and pull away from this dummy, it's actually almost trying to redirect it back onto the target. And that's because I have my dead zones down at 0, so you can really see the game struggling to understand what the goal is here. Generally speaking, if you aim central mass on an opponent, or if you aim at a certain body part, and you manage to maintain tracking in the same direction as that target, you are going to get very powerful aim assist. In fact, I'll be honest with you, given all of the discussions around aim assist lately, I'm surprised this has not been more of a conversation. Arc Raiders has incredibly powerful aim assist to a point where, as a controller player across other platforms and games, I would consider it to be generally quite overpowered, and something that probably does need to be considered for a cross-play environment. It's fine against the drones. I understand it being sticky and attaching to all the drones, but when it comes to the actual players themselves, you still get really aggressive aim assist that makes not only recoil compensation basically minimal to non-existent, but actually tracking targets means that there are instances where at certain ranges, it just stays fairly locked. And you can see that from what I'm demonstrating here. I'm moving my stick slowly away from the edge of this guy's head, but it's dragging it back towards the target to make sure that I stay on target. In terms of actual aim assist ranges as well, the aim assist ranges do tend to be incredibly strong. I would say even at this 40-meter mark, as you can see, we're probably more about 50 meters. The game is still putting in a lot of legwork in terms of slowdown and in terms of making sure that I'm hitting this target as a drone. Again, a little bit more unscrupulous when it's an actual person, and a little bit more tricky when it's a real player. But you can see, even over fairly extreme ranges, in fact, I'm going to try and get as far away from this as humanly possible and aim at that dummy. you can see that it's still I mean, honestly, I'm not moving my right stick at all at the moment. This is just pure left stick, and it is keeping it as central as humanly possible. But you can see just how easy it is to potentially exploit that and get the most out of this game. And again, I'm not presenting this as a video where I'm saying aim assist is broken or it's busted. I'm going to be honest, it's incredibly strong and probably needs to change. But if you're somebody who is playing on controller, just know that the aim assist is doing most of the work for you. But if I'm being entirely honest, you need a little bit of recoil compensation, and that's about it. Other than that, everything is going to be perfectly fine. Now, in terms of getting into the actual settings themselves, we have a couple of issues in terms of Arc Raiders and in terms of how it operates. And the biggest problem we have is, unfortunately, with Arc Raiders, there is no way to rebind your controls customly in this game. At this moment in time, you are just stuck with whatever they happen to have. But I'm going to show you a quick way to get around that on PlayStation and on Xbox. And of course, if you're playing on PC, there are hundreds of different softwares that you can use to remap your controls, including official PlayStation accessories apps and also the Xbox accessories app on your PC in order to achieve that. About the actual settings themselves. Now, the first thing you're going to want to change is you're going to want to go on in here and change this to prioritize interact with aim assist on, and then you'll want to head down to horizontal sensitivity and set this to 140. Now, 56% of 140 is 80, give or take, but you're going to set vertical sensitivity to 80. But what I mean by 50% of this, or 56% should I say, is that a 16:9 display, which is 16 wide and 9 vertical, which is pretty much most modern televisions and every single monitor, the aim ratio for that is 56%, because 9 out of 16 is 56. So for that reason, and for that mathematical reason, you're going to put this down to 80. With the zoom sensitivity multiplier at 20, and the scope zoom sensitivity multiplier at 20 as well. And the look response curve is going to be dropped down to exponential. You're in a dead zone and your movement in a dead zone, and try and put these as low as humanly possible. Now, the reason for this is because, generally speaking, if you're using a newer controller like a Hall Effect controller or a TMR stick controller, getting stick drift is fairly minimal these days. But if you are using an older controller, or perhaps your controller just does have drift, keep this as low as humanly possible. Try and keep it, I would say, under 15. If you can get it as low as 0, like I can, without introducing any drift, that's fantastic. If you are using a TMR stick controller or a Hall Effect stick controller, do be aware that those controllers still can get drift, and you do have to recalibrate those. So make sure you look at your controllers' various manuals or sales guides in order to understand how that works. Horizontal look boost, we're putting this up to 10%. And what this does is it's going to give us a really fast left and right pan around, as you can see, as we sort of move around the world, which is what you want. You know, you want to be able to look around and snap left and right really quickly to make sure you can see what's going on around you.
That's what I want.
This only applies horizontally in the third person, and doesn't apply when you're firing, which slows down ever so slightly, and doesn't apply when you are zoomed down sight.
Nice.
The big issue with the settings that I found in Arc Raiders is that there's a lot of reliance on what's called look boost and zoom look boost, and you don't want absolutely any of this in your game. The horizontal look boost, when you're just looking around in the third person, is absolutely welcome, and I wouldn't even have a ramp up time for that at all. If you're somebody who prefers even more boost and you want to look around even snappier left and right, you want to get that up to maybe 30, give or take, to give you a faster left and right field of view, you could probably increase your ramp up time to something in and around 0.4, just to make it feel a little bit more natural, so that it doesn't feel like you're just instantly swinging around your camera instantly. But for the most part, you want that to be the only look boost that you are adding to your game, and that is your left and right look boost, not your up and down, not anything else. Otherwise, you're basically completely collapsing any semblance of muscle memory, and I would not recommend it at all. So you can drop this down as low as 10 and just have this completely off, so there's no ramp up time at all. Or you can have a slightly higher value, like 30 to 40, and have a small ramp up value to, again, make it feel a little bit more natural and not make it feel like you're getting this sort of instantaneous mouse movement, which perhaps feels not quite controller-esque. Now, you do want to try and get as close as you can to a really fast, snappy input akin to something like a mouse. But if you do it too unnaturally, you just find that, in my view, it slows down everything and it makes your general sensitivities feel terrible. And you don't want there to be a massive gulf in between your hip fire and then your zoom ADS. Because if your zoom is radically different to your hip fire, that's going to send your sensitivities all over the place. So again, in my personal preference and from what I've done in my testing, I dropped this down to about 10. I put the ramp up time as low as 0. You can put it in 0.2 if you feel that's a little bit more comfortable. And in terms of the other zoom look boosts, completely.
All right, I'm gonna have to come back to this video while I'm actually playing the game. That's a lot of good information. I haven't heard anybody else say that shit yet. All right, that was that video. Yeah,
You're
I'm
seeing a
gonna
gun
have to
on your desk
listen to
in
that
meetings.
while the game is on, so I can go straight to the
You
settings.
shouldn't have a gun on your desk during meetings. It makes the staff uncomfortable.
So, get us.
Arc Raiders is finally here. Well, as of publishing this video a bit early, launching officially tomorrow on the 30th, but whether or not you're here finding this video as early as of when it's published or after the fact of Arc Raiders' launch, today we're diving into an ultimate beginner's guide. Whether you picked up the game from Tech Test 2 back in April or perhaps even earlier in closed tests, or if this is the first time you're picking it up with the launch, welcome to Speranza. Veteran or first-time players, we're running down absolutely everything you'll need to know so that you can get the hang of this game and make each of your runs more successful than the last. I think that I should have covered just about everything you can think of, but if I do miss something you think is worth noting, drop it down below. We're all here for the same reason, to enjoy Arc Raiders and build the game experience to be better together. A big thanks to Embark Studios for sponsoring this video. Check out Arc Raiders in the description below if you'd like to pick it up yourself, but also be on the lookout for further tips, guides for XP, crafting, upgrades, blueprint locations, Easter eggs, you name it. I'm incredibly stoked for all that we have in store here for this game. So if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Make sure you subscribe for more of what we just mentioned. And for now, this is an incredibly long one, so sit back, relax, let's venture topside together. First things first, initial startup for the game. You're going to need to go through the training and onboarding sequence for Arc Raiders for the first time you boot up the game. This being a tutorial that Embark has had in Arc Raiders for each of the last times you've seen the game in a public or closed capacity. Funnily enough, when this game launches fully tomorrow on the 30th, I'll actually have had to do this tutorial 5 times between all the capture sessions and public releases we've had the last few months. This just gives you a basic rundown of everything you could expect. Looting, combat, healing, evasion of Arc machines, all the basic in-game situations. One tip I can give, you're going to get ambushed in this tutorial, then when you wake up, Raiders will have taken all your loot before that point, so if you wait to loot the indoors or stash the loot you have up until that point before opening the door and breaching that, after the ambush you can circle back around and grab all of that, and then you get a little bit of extra stuff that will stay with you for your initial inventory once you're in Speranza. Also, be on the lookout for additional hidden bags. There's a few of them throughout the level that can give you just a tad more loot to start out with. That said, once you end up descending into Speranza, you end up seeing your main menu, which has a lot of things you can interact with. Let's start out with what you see first thing there. Let's talk about the upper right first. You're going to see notations for Raider coins, cred, Raider tokens, your inbox, and your rank. Raider coins, these are your in-game independent currency. These are used for your in-game economy of buying and selling. If you want to buy something like from a trader, you're likely going to spend Raider coins there. You can't end up actually trading other specific items to specific traders, but a lot of the times you're going to end up seeing it being Raider coins. If you're expanding your stash, you're going to be using these. You're selling items, you're going to be getting these. This is truly the organic in-game economy currency. Cred is a challenge-based currency where this is entirely earned by completing feats, which are challenges that can be completed in-game and that are on a refresh cycle, so you'll always have more to do, just maybe you complete some faster than others. When cred is awarded, it's the way you unlock items in the Raider decks, essentially your battle passes. There's both free and paid battle passes coming in the future, so there's plenty that you can do organically and work on. But unlocking items, whether that pass entry is free or cost tokens, every item inside that is unlocked via cred. So your progression is all based on play and challenge completion. Raider tokens, these are then your cosmetic tokens, your things that you use to buy more outfits and uniforms, and again, sometimes entry into those Raider decks. How often that'll be the case in the future, we don't quite know, but at the moment, it's more of your cosmetic-based currency. Inbox is where you can end up seeing redemptions and game messages and things like that, and then your rank is your overall rank. Ranking that provides a few more benefits with each level. The most notable, initially at least, is the skill tree rewards. Each level you rank up, you gain another skill token to use and work towards unlocking specific attributes about your character. But more on that in a bit. But how do you rank up? What is XP granted for? Well, you'll see things attributed to rank, including but not limited to damaging other raiders, that being your shots landed, knocking out raiders, which is finishing them off, knocking out raiders assist. If you end up, say, getting shots on and your teammate ends up downing them and finishing them, you end up getting XP for that. Damaging arc machines, destroying arc machines, including assists on damaged arc machines. scavenging, and spending time on the surface, which is just simply surviving that will grant you XP, and oftentimes it's actually one of the largest single XP yields of any of the mentioned categories, so simply staying alive really is good for ranking up. But honestly, looting everything is as well really solid for ranking up. May feel like you're not finding anything good, but just the act of looting is incredibly good for XP. But
It's moving day. That's right, Mint Mobile is coming home to your home. I mean, if you'll have us. The internet for your home from Mint. Minternet. Fast 5G home internet powered by T-Mobile for $30 a month. No more triple-digit monthly bills or waiting for the cable guy to show up and silently judge your home decor. You've crossed the 2-foot perimeter, so back off or I will stab you both in the highly visible.
let's talk a little bit about what else.
Okay, that's the commercial I mentioned yesterday. They bleeped it out, but still, we know exactly what you're saying, bro. Like, is that commercials now? That's crazy. I don't know why I find that shit so wild. Like, what you just say dick
Here
in a
throughout
commercial?
your menu and navigation for ARC Raiders. Let's talk about traders real quick. Traders are these main points of interest you'll go to within the game for the gameplay loop outside of actually raid. Traders end up having quick buy options for specific items you may need, whether it's items for crafting recipe, weapon or ammunition, healing and shields. Just about everything, functionally speaking, can be found through these traders. Not everything, but pretty close, especially early game. Traders will also have quests that you can end up embarking on, which will end up granting you specific rewards for the task at hand, but more on that in a second. Shawnee is your security trader, where these trades will include things like binoculars and your Raider hatch keys. Celeste ends up having trades of a whole lot of everything you could think of, really, like chemicals, complex gun parts, ropes, batteries, Exodus models, oil, and so on and so forth. GON is the gun shop, where you'll end up having weapons, ammunition, and weapon modifications, like attachments. Lance will end up having a lot of your sort of augments and shields, some healing as well. And then Apollo will end up having some of your gear, like explosives, barricades, and things like that. There are introduced with these server slams some items that do have purchase limits here. This offsetting with some of the balance on items like Raider hatch keys that were previously just abundant and altered the flow of the game in match when there was a ton of them on the market and in the world. Other things that end up having some purchase limits are like your heavy shields from Lance. These being on a timed rotation, just simply because buying too many of them could end up becoming something that offsets the balance of the ecosystem and how your health ends up working. Now, each of these traders will end up having quests that you'll have to complete sequentially, and again, will offer you benefits in the shape of different rewards. Doing these early and often really helps to boost your ranking up, but also boosting up your inventory, something that whenever you're a starting player, you won't have a whole ton of great stuff. So being able to end up getting anything that will help put you in the right direction, give you a better fighting chance topside, is definitely worth going for. Let's talk about the workshop now. Here you can end up installing multiple different stations throughout your entire Raider progression. Stations include your workbench, explosive station, gear bench, gunsmith, medical lab, refiner, and utility station. The workbench is just a general station. You have a little bit of your general items there. Explosive station, this is where you craft grenades and mines and things like that. Your gear bench is used to craft shields and augments. Gunsmith is used to craft weapons and upgrade them, as well as ammo and any weapon modifications like attachments. Your medical lab is used to craft stimulants and healing items. Your refiner is used to craft custom parts, but on a sort of timer scale, rarer items, but in limited timed quantities. And then your utility station is used to craft lures, grenades, barricades, and more. Now, each of these stations can be upgraded. After they're installed, you'll have a base level of options to craft and see. Some items, though, you may see, and they may be grayed out or inaccessible, and it will tell you need to level 2, level 3, or something like that. Upgrading these can be done by collecting the necessary items for the upgrades in the Level Up tab of the station next to the Crafting tab. These will task you with finding specific items in-world or buying and trading for them in order to then level up your station. Leveling up is imperative if you want to end up getting better and better stuff and be able to actually craft them. Otherwise, you'll just be stuck at the mercy of whatever the traders have or whatever you find in-world. This gives you a lot more control over a higher level and end-game loot, saving you a lot in resources and coins compared to buying and trading them. Now, one thing that you'll end up seeing is that there are a handful that, are initially locked off and things you can't quite get to. But the more you end up playing, the more you end up finding things in world, you'll probably come across a lot of blueprints. The blueprint system is an extension of these stations. Upon first installing a station or even upgrading it, again, there's a finite number of items you'll see in that available inventory, even if locked off due to station levels. But more can be found via blueprints. These are schematics that can be found in-world around various locations in each of the maps available that once extracted with can be consumed and learned, and you'll end up having that sort of knowledge available to use at whatever the corresponding station is for it. Once your station is upgraded enough, you can then craft that item whenever you want and have the required items. No sort of limit or anything on how many times you can craft at that point. It's just whenever you get the availability for it, you can craft it. So as for your inventory, let's talk about this. Firstly, a general sort of overall perspective. You're going to see a bunch of different rarities within the game. You'll end up having green, which is your uncommon stuff that you just kind of find all the time. Blue is a bit more rarer items. Pink is your epic, and then yellow is your legendary, the rarest of the rare. In your inventory, you end up having a couple of different breakdowns of different slots you can play around with. You have your no sort of limit or anything on how many times you can craft at that point. It's just whenever you get the availability for it, you can craft it. So as for your inventory, let's talk about this. Firstly, a general sort of overall perspective. You're going to see a bunch of different rarities within the game. You'll end up having green, which is your uncommon stuff that you just kind of find all the time. Blue is a bit more rarer items. Pink is your epic, and then yellow is your legendary, the rarest of the rare. In your inventory, you end up having a couple of different breakdowns of different slots you can play around with. You have your equipment, you have weapons, then you end up having quick use, augment slots, and safe pockets. Starting at the top here, your equipment, your augments, and your shields. Your augments are your backpacks. These are varied in level depending on rarity and in crafting capacities. The amount it will take to get those different items. But with the full launch, you'll have variations. Like a looting augment will allow for more looting capacity at the detriment of a trade-off of something else. Some augments have special benefits that they can do things like healing you once you're revived or something like that. Then shields, these are your shields, your extra added sort of first line of defense before you end up just losing health when being shot at by either an arc or an enemy player. You'll end up having light, medium, and heavy shields obviously being the best of those, but also being the rarest in terms of maybe organically crafting or in the sense of buying them from Lance, the most limited and the most expensive. One thing to note though is that sometimes the shields, whenever they look to match up, medium to Mark II or something like that, it depends on the augment type. Sometimes you can't actually take that second level of shield with a, say, looting backpack. As for your weapons, you end up having a various number of different weapons out there. Honestly, as of the time of recording this, I'm not entirely sure how many there actually are. I think there were like 20 when we last had access, in which that's the Anvil, Arpeggio, Patina, Bobcat, Berletta.
Okay, why should you get one of these? I mean, apart from having over 21,000 games and 23 different consoles, bearing in mind, with games like this and games like this.
On top of them, Equalizer, Pharaoh, Hairpin, Hallcracker, Il Toro, Jupiter, Kettle, Osprey, Rattler, Renegade, Stitcher, Tempest, Torrent, Venator, and the Volcano. So pending no extra additions or anything, you should at least have those 20 available. Some, of course, much rarer than others. Like I think I remember seeing the Jupiter as one of the Harvester rewards where you had to sneak past or defeat the Queen and then complete the Harvester sort of like inner puzzle to shut it down. And then get the loot. I read stuff as well. But ammo types, you have your light. This ammo is good for close quarters, shredding enemies in their armor. Medium is good for more medium ranges and a bit more packing a punch here, whether it be on other raiders or if you want to fight arc with it. Heavy ammo is usually found in those sort of longer rifles and also the Anvil, that heavy Magnum pistol. But these are good for long range, that kind of stuff, but also taking down arc with relative ease. Shotgun ammo is pretty solid. Also, it's depending on the rarity of weapon you have, it can be insane against other raiders. And then energy ammo, you'll have to find this specifically for more legendary tier weapons or craft it. And this is something that gets a little expensive, but also can do quite a bit of damage. Before moving on quickly, let's talk about some weapon composition. You can end up equipping attachments to different weapons
All right,
that can
guys,
make a difference.
this is
whether it be magazine modifications to give you more ammunition.
That's it
whether
for
it
that
be
first
silencers,
detailed
perhaps. I
layer
think
on
the biggest
clothes
benefit here
now.
is if you're playing like PvE-esque, obviously
So,
the threat of other players is
we're in a
always
pretty good
present.
spot.
But
Like I
if
said,
you
when
are
we come back,
stepping
now the
around,
next thing
you
we're
want
gonna
to
do
stay
is
out of
jump
the
right
radar,
back
this
into
is
the
a great
skin
way
tone.
to
So
do
we're
it.
probably
Attachments can be found,
gonna
crafted,
clean off
looted,
this
or
entire
bought from different
palette.
vendors. You'll have a bunch of different options.
Oh
for
my
this
God,
cool
this is
game
the
to
second
craft
time in
however
like
you like.
2
One
weeks
thing
that I
to note, though,
waste
is
my
some of the
fucking thinner. Oh my, bro, I just waste all my thinner again. I just poured that whole new thinner in there a few days ago because I wasted the last drop. literally just did this a couple of days ago. Literally. I don't got that much standard WH. And I gotta go to the bathroom anyway. I'll finish this when I come back. We're gonna clean up and move across the hall. The agony, the torture. Oh, God. Just as I was about to clean my brushes out, it's like, nope, get some more thinner, motherfucker. It's all under the glass. I didn't feel like. All right, that's about as good as it's gonna get. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Where you doing? All right, we're moving across the hall. Shit. I got shit with you. All right. Let's get this done. Oh, let me take a. Hold on. All right. He tried this motherfucker cut this up. Okay. Oh my God, that is so cold over there. The oh, you know what I keep forgetting too? What dumbass. Yeah, but this third floor, it doesn't have radiators up here. This old house has a steam radiator system, but the third floor has baseboard heat, which I keep forgetting to turn on for some reason. Okay. Let's see if we can get set up over here. Right. Like this. Uh-oh. Oh shit. Wait a minute. Wait. I didn't clean my brushes up just now. If I don't clean these brushes out right now, and I start to do something else, I will absolutely forget to come back and clean these brushes out. Now I'm pouring up another fresh cup of dinner after I just did this. Same exact thing. Son of a bitch. And once again, that's why I said I never changed the carpet on this third floor when I moved in. As soon as I saw this, and I knew I wanted to change the carpet downstairs, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep this old carpet up there. And they're like, why? I'm like, cause I'm gonna fuck this shit up. I already know. What do you mean? No, it's about to be my studio. And I'm a messy painter. I don't need no new carpet or nothing. I almost thought about tiling it, like at least with like linoleum or so. I said, fuck doing that shit. I'm not about to invest money into a new floor that I know I'm gonna fucking ruin. So when I do waste and spill shit in here, it don't even bother me at all. Other than the fact now I gotta clean up a fucking mess. Just gotta clean up a mess now. Son of a bitch. Alright, these I did not use for those things. P, what the hell are you talking about, bro? Alright, brushes are clean. And we are going across the hall. Let me take my coffee first. I don't know. I normally rather project in the evening so it's nice and dark, but it's a kind of grayish day. It's kind of gray outside, so I'm not getting a lot of light coming in here. All right, do it from this way. Shit. Uh-oh. No. Oh, man. One day, I promise I will come clean this room up. Well, if I put you guys right there, then I won't be able to read the screen, so that's not going to work. Okay. Well, I guess I could. So here's my stack of canvases. I'm going to try to sketch on all of these. Like I said, to get prepped for this. To get prepped for this zip. Can you set that there? That might work. And then oh, let's see. What did I just drop? Sure, that's nice and tight. Well, here it goes. All right. Gotta get one of these. Probably don't want to do it that way. I don't know if this would be easier than making a template because I don't know. These are some pretty small canvases, but I just don't want to freehand. I don't know. Yeah, I could make a template. If this doesn't work, we'll try that because it's really just a circle, and How many lines? 1, 2. It's not even a lot of lines. I forgot. I think this is this one, right? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. This might not work like I thought it would, or unless I do. Yeah. Maybe. Mm, yeah. No. Shit. Trying to take the lazy way out, guys. This might work. All right. We just have to pull the easy hella close. I'll pull the easy hella close. It might work. So, like I said, if this doesn't go fast enough, we might make it stencil. Which I don't really have to do that, but you might have to. I just want these to be as uniform as possible so that nobody feels like the ones look different. No, they're all, for the most part, they're all exactly the fucking same. Nobody's is different from anyone else's. Okay, all right. And I might, damn. So now I'm thinking, should I do this with a Sharpie first? Should I do this with a Sharpie first? Or I don't know. No, because I don't want to even like sneeze or hiccup or twitch or anything and fuck it up. So maybe I'll do it with pencil. Fuck, this is going to be a long ass process. This is why I don't like doing shit for other people. And I'd rather just do my own thing all the time. Okay, so if I do it this way first with a pencil and then come back and then outline them again with a fucking Sharpie, I think that may make it easier for people to paint so that if they start slinging too much paint too fast, it doesn't like rub the pencil off. So I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing here. Oh, excuse me. Nah, projectors are finicky if you don't get a good one, and especially these new. Because my first projector was the old school overhead projector from elementary, and then that kind of died on me. So now I got this one, and sometimes, yeah, it won't. It's harder to shrink stuff down. I don't know. Let's see. But if you can get it set up, this is way faster than drawing. It's just so much faster than having to draw shit. So I guess if I can just, you know what I'm saying, man, that shit ain't gotta be straight, just gotta look straight. Hold on, what if I do that? No, that's definitely not straight. Do it for the money. I know, right? Where's my AR VR shit, man? I need to step my shit up to the future, bro. I say, you see the motherfuckers do their murals with a fucking VR headset? I'm like, what the fuck? All right, I think that may be the best position. Let me go ahead and grab this fucking stack. Don't touch the fucking easel. Don't bump it. Don't touch the fucking projector. Let's grab this stack of canvases. This. Our canvases here. Okay. Man, oh man. Yeah, we'll come back and do probably do the outliner again with a Sharpie. Yeah, I gotta do this 30 times. Oh, this is wild. You know what? The hardest part is getting these curves and these whites. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do this with a Sharpie to begin with. Let's just come back and tighten them up in the end. And then everybody can have an identical okay. Because the snowmen are going to represent your family members, I'm not going to fill those in. I just figured that people can draw their own families in there themselves. So really, we just need the circle, we need the base, we need the line for the table or whatever, and we need the light, the string of lights, and that should be enough. That should be enough for everybody to get started. Like I said, I'll come back and outline that with a Sharpie, and we're in there. Now I just got to do it 29 more times. Okay, I better just go ahead and hop on this shit now. Get started on this shit today. Right? Instead of trying to wait. Bro, this is why I need an assistant, yo. And I'm not gonna pay you to do this either. This is all free learning experience right here. You know, I'm paying you with knowledge and understanding. You know how much knowledge is worth? Priceless. Knowledge is power. I'm giving you power. I pay you with power. That's how my assistants get paid. Right? With power. The power of knowledge. And if you don't want to work for that, then you dumber than I think you are. Right? Who doesn't want to work for knowledge? It's not like you're working for free. Okay, let's do shit. Oh, for this, I definitely need an apprentice for this. Man, I should not be forced to sit here and do this myself. Huh? Like I'm some kind of amateur. Like I'm some kind of rookie. think I might do some ribs and what else? Ribs and oxtails for dinner. Yeah, that will get some wonky. I gotta get in a better position, but this canvas is so small. Like if I try to scooch up, I'm blocking the projector. I should put my pencil on the end of a stick so I can stretch out further, right? I'll get my ruler to make sure at least that line is pretty straight. Only straight line I need on this whole thing. Oh, it shifted, motherfucker. Don't you move. I said I probably could have made a template. Or I don't know. I just find this to be the easiest way most of the time. If you don't feel like drawing, okay. Are we gonna do all of these this morning? I don't know, man. What if I do about 10? Making the band, what the nigga name was? Dylan or damn, I can't think of who he kept making fun of. Yo, that dude said that Dave Chappelle skit in his career, yo, because it was so fucking funny. Everybody just made a joke of his ass after that shit. Bring the Boondocks back, bro. The Boondocks is one of those shows that focuses on pop culture and current events. So there's always something to talk about. It's like the black version of South Park. Like there's just certain shows that try to be as relevant and up to date as possible, and it makes for good content. And the Boondocks is definitely one of them shows where pop culture actually writes the show for you. Like you don't, all you got to do is look at the news and then make it funny. Look at celebrity shit, what's going on in Hollywood, and make it funny. Yeah, the Boondock scripts. Those shits are, like you say, just pop culture writes the scripts for you. The fucking Usher episode when his wife was so infatuated about Usher at the restaurant, or the Thuglicious or Thugnificent. The fucking the R. Kelly peeing on people episode. Oh my god. The chicken sandwich episode. Oh, my arm is already tired. Oh, wait a minute. Did I not do? Yes, I didn't do these two. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We did 5 so far. And we've only been in here for about an hour. 5 per hour. We have some extras. Yeah, so I'm doing 30. So they said they wanted to have a paint and sip for about 25 people. All right, okay. 25 people, that's not bad. So I figured I'd do 30 canvases. Yeah, I'm really tighten this motherfucker. So I figured 30 should be enough, right? 5 extra. Man, you told me you said about 25 people. And 20 or 30 is about 25 people. So if you come in here with 32 people, hey, somebody gonna be ass out. I ain't lying. I'm not about to make 40 of these or 50 of these when you said 25 people. You already know somebody gonna bring. Well, my girlfriend wanted to come, or my cousin, or or a coworker who said they weren't gonna come, and then decides, well, I changed my mind because we're not going to dinner tonight, so I figured I'll just come to the party. Yeah, and you said 25. You said about 25 people. Okay, I'll have 30 canvases for you. That's about 25. That's extra. So once again, if more than 30 people show up, and then do you have any more canvases? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't. Well, could you like make one real quick? No, I can't. I can't just pull one of these out my ass. I'm an artist, not a magician, man. So yeah, invite that plus one if you want. They gonna go home talking shit about you. Now I went to this little painting set with, Jacqueline, and they ain't even had enough stuff for me to do nothing. I just sat there the whole time. But that's on your bitch ass. They ain't had enough supplies for everybody. Yeah, I did. For everybody who said they were going to be in attendance, not for surprise pop-up guests. You think you is Michael Jackson, nigga? You is not the king of pop. Right? You is not. You is not Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson showed up. Now I'm running to the craft store immediately. I don't got no canvases. I'm gonna go grab one. I ain't gonna lie. This shit is making my shoulder tired. It's the old man shit. Damn, the other thing too is if I turn this shit off and move this setup, well, I'm not gonna move the setup, but even I just gotta remember exactly which photo I'm streaming from, because if I don't do all of them now and try to come back and finish later, I just still want them to be exactly the same size and everything. Once again, because people notice that, well, their circle is a little bit bigger than mine. Well, mine's kind of off centered a little bit. Right? That's why I want to just freehand all these motherfuckers. Yeah, their string of lights has more bulbs on it than mine's. Oh, shut the fuck up. They're all individually personalized. I might do a little raffle too for a print giveaway. So I'm gonna have this, have all the canvases and paints and everything for the guests. But then somewhere in the back, well, it's gonna be at a restaurant. I don't know where I can set my shit up at in a restaurant. I probably need to go up there and check it out prior. Damn. So starting to flatten out. I'm gonna have to swap it out soon. I don't know if I can tough this out for much longer. He said just make one, just one. It's all wonky. That person is gonna be flipping out like, yo, why my shit look like this? No, it looks just like everybody else's. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It's just imagining shit. I don't know. It's for the Chamber of Commerce. I think there's a bunch of younger people there. I don't want none of them old cougars. Ah, Mr. Painter. So you want to go out for a glass of wine afterwards? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't. Do you do house paint and sips? No, not at your house, ma'am. I won't. I'll invite you over to my house to paint and sip. No, you will not, ma'am. Don't you got an arthritis medication? Huh? Why you? No. You take arthritis medication. What you doing trying to holler at me? I might break your scapula. Huh? Get some torn ligaments over here. Man, Granny ain't want that. Don't you wear dentures, ma'am? Are those not your teeth? Huh? So I grab my booty. No, hey, lady, get your hands off me. This is harassment. Then you find out she's a widower or a divorcee, and she drives a fucking 700 Mercedes. Hey, Miss Margaret. Now, what you was talking about? A paint and sip? Yeah, yeah. At your house? Yeah, Miss Margaret. Where you live? Oh, you live in the hill section. Oh, I'd love to come out there with you and your rich friends. Yeah, we're making an adult paint and sip. You know, have some racy images. You like bondage? Are you into bondage? No? Oh, I'm so tired of doing this already. Not even gonna lie. Assistant. Where is my assistant? Am I like sliding like that? But it's not the two front feet like moving. So I'm basically in the same radius where you could do as long as the whole thing doesn't slide back. Marcus. No, ma'am. Marcus. I mentioned that movie in the song Pretty Feet because Marcus had an obsession with pretty feet. He still fucked that old lady though. Think that shit gonna get him a promotion or get him a raise or something? That shit ain't get him nowhere. That shit ain't even get him that promotion. Damn, do I have to watch Boomerang? It had Martin was in that shit. David Allen Greer was in that shit. Pops, Charles Witherspoon was in there. Was one of the Waynes in there? No. Eartha Kitt. What's the really dark skinned lady with the bald head? I can't never think her name. I'm tracing these over with a Sharpie will go way quicker because I can just lay them flat and do it. Grace Jones. Yeah, Grace Jones, Miss Pearly. That was Pop's wife. You know your dad got a mushroom belt. Yo. From the rooter to the tutor. Bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? Got to coordinate. You know what I'm saying? A mushroom jacket, a mushroom belt. Yeah, that movie had a star-studded cast, yo. That's why it was so good. It was a really, really good movie. There was a lot of pushback. Eddie Murphy said that a lot of critics were slamming it for being too black. They're saying like, "Oh, where are the white people at?" And it's like, "Oh, all these people like Marcus worked for some big corporate firm or something, and he was an executive, and um, everybody else at the company were all black, and the board. It was a advertisement because they were making a perfume commercial or something, and everybody was black. And then even Holly Berry, she was like the head of the youth center or something. And the critics were like, "Well, who's running the company? Where are the white people at?" And it's Eddie Murphy was like, "Why? Like, why does there always have to be a race issue when it comes to being professional and seen as like business type and upper class?" He said there's a lot of negative comments from the critics because a lot of people felt the cast was too black. I'm trying to think, like, what is my favorite Eddie Murphy movie? Would it be Trading Places or Coming to America? Didn't he play like Dr. Doolittle or something one time? The Clumps, um, Axel Foley, way back in the day, 48 Hours, well, another 48 Hours. I'm trying to think, like, I don't know what I would say my favorite Eddie Murphy movie is. He's never done a serious role, has he? He doesn't do like he's always like a comedian or at least in a comical role. Maybe if I had a taller seat, I don't know what it is. To get my shoulder in a better position to paint, to draw this shit out. Vampire in Brooklyn, Life. Vampire in Brooklyn was funny as shit. Life was also hilarious. Look what you made me do. Now my toe stuck in the bottom. Donkey from Shrek. Donkey. Oh, what time is it? Damn, it's almost 9 o'clock. All right, guys. I might do like 2 or 3 more, then I'm definitely going to take a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. We just did 10. We got 12 or 13 of them. And then hopefully we can come back and get these things in the same position so that they're. I just want them to be as uniform as possible. So to do something 25 times in a row, I said, just do it this way, or you would have to stencil it, or you would have to be a master with the fucking pencil. Honestly, this is something else too. Like I said, if I can sell a certain number of prints a day, which isn't even a lot, I could earn my current income. Or I'm thinking now, like, if I can do like 2 of these a week for large enough groups, and say, you know, if I can make $600 or $700 per painting sip and do it twice a week, that's damn near what I make now, $1,000 a week. Gotta figure something out different, guys. Tell them about the boom boom room. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. You're gonna have everything. If you ever watched the outtakes for that shit, yo, it was one scene they were filming it in the car, and Eddie Murphy had his cell phone on him, and the cell phone started ringing. He answered, he was like, "Who this? Man, we ain't got no cell phones in 1920." Why you even got your cell phone on you while you're filming on the set? I don't want to miss that important call. The checks has been cashed. Live, 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 live. Laugh, laugh. That was Jodeci. Who sang that song? Somebody did a song specifically for that soundtrack. And then I'm locked up, they won't let me out. Wasn't that on that soundtrack too? No, they won't let me out. You gonna eat your cornbread? Jangling, jangling. Your hands, nice and soft, just like a lady. Jangling, jangling. Can't get right. Just call it can't get right. I'm that baby's paw. I'm the pappy. Sir, I am the daddy. I'm the pappy. Everybody say they don't fuck your daughter, sir. Why don't this stack don't look no smaller? I don't like that. This stack look the same size. They ain't even on damn fragrance. Jeez, am I not making progress here? Damn it. I might keep those in later, but I don't know. It depends on the size of people's names too. So I haven't been outlining this little name plate section. And that'll throw people off, but I'll get it on there in the end, I guess. I'm moving forwards. But then I'm thinking too, like, what if somebody has a super long name? Shouldn't they just be able to paint the box at the length they need it to be? But then you have to also realize most people are completely incompetent, especially when it comes to being artistic or drawing or anything. Well, I can't draw a box like that. It's a fucking rectangle, lady. Jesus Christ. A fucking rectangle. You draw shit. I'm gonna do one more. That'll put us at 2.5 hours this morning between the two studios, which isn't bad because we got a good bit of painting done this morning, and we got half of this. I want to say half. I was trying to do 15, so it is only been soon. Wait a minute. 4, 5. That's 10. That's 15. Really? I would have to do everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I might at least do. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think this is 17. I don't know. I thought I ordered a 30 pack of these things, but apparently there's 32 in the pack. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just do half of it. Then I'm counting and like, no, this is still more than 15 on there. Like that's anyway. So you motherfuckers are lucky, bro. So y'all can bring up the 32 people. Because I swear the thing that I ordered said a 30 pack. Or I can't count the fucking 31 or the 2. I'm leaning heavier towards the second one, honestly. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm probably just not counting to 30 right. So there is that strong possibility. But there's also the strong possibility that I ordered a pack of 32 and not 30. Which is great for the event. Like I said, there's always going to be that +1 or that straggler who said, fuck these people, I'm not going to a Christmas party with them. And then they wind up sitting at home bored and be like, you know what, I might as well go to the office party. But this is going to be in the daytime, early in the day. It's going to be like a lunch paint and sip. Like I said, now that I think about it, one day this coming week, I might actually just go to the restaurant to get a feel of the setup and the space and everything, what size the tables are, and then to assess if there would even be a space where I can set up like 1 or 2 big easels and just have my art on display for the guests to be like, oh, this guy's a real artist. He just doesn't paint these little crappy Christmas scenes. Okay. All right, so this right here will be number 15. Right? You did a pretty good time too, 2.5 hours. That's not bad. That's called productivity. Tell them, gang, we get more shit done in the day before motherfuckers even get out of bed good. On a Saturday or Sunday, man, we done got so much shit done before other people done had their first cup of coffee in the morning. Why? Because we're awesome. I went to the museum last night, and I got there, and it was closed. Because I read the invite wrong. The show did open today, but it opened to the public, and it wasn't like the big show for the artists to be there. We're supposed to be there on Wednesday, not on the opening night. I'm just so used to gallery openings where if you have your art at the gallery, you're there the opening night. But no, so I didn't even get to see the whole setup. I walked into the museum. I'm like, I pull up to the parking lot, and around the museum is a really big park, and they have this whole park trail set up with the Christmas lights that you can drive through it, like drive around the park. And so the parking lot had some vehicles, and people were walking around, checking out the lights, taking pictures with the family and dogs and stuff. And then there was a bunch of cars just circling around the park. But when I got there, I thought to myself, parking lot looks kind of light. There's a few cars here, but it doesn't look like enough cars that there's an event going on at the museum. And I'm walking to the museum, I'm getting close to the building. I'm like, this shit looks like it's fucking closed. And yep, it was closed. Called my homie. I was like, bro, I thought the show was tonight. He was like, no, it opened today to the public, but the show was on Wednesday. I was like, oh, my bad. My bad. I done drove all the way over here for nothing, is what you telling me? I done got dressed. I was super fly. I put cologne on, clean socks, clean underwear. And drove 30 minutes just to get turned around in disappointment. You know, get turned around in disappointment because I read the invitation wrong. Shit. Wasted an hour of time and gas. My shoulder. Fuck. All right, that was the last one for real. Right. Oh, well, I'm still forgetting to do this. What the fuck? Okay. All right, this is the last one for real. This will be the last one. Last one. Then we'll take a break. Last one. And I know I've been saying a lot lately. I'll be back up here later this afternoon, and then I'll never come back. But today, or maybe this evening, I'll probably wait till it gets dark again, so that this thing is just easier. It's just easier to see when it's dark outside. But I do want to get this finished because this is tedious and it's boring, and I definitely have to like go back over them again with a Sharpie anyway. So if the faster I can get this done and just get this stuff prepped for the day of, the less things I have to worry about. And then we can just get back to our regular painting and doing our own thing. I like getting paid to do art, but I hate that it's always what somebody else wants me to do. I wish I can just paint a painting and you buy that. Don't tell me what you want to paint. Just buy what I already painted. But no, you don't want that. So, you gotta do it for the money sometimes. Do it for the love all the time. But you gotta do it for the money sometimes. All right, this is gonna be the last one, guys, and it's gonna be a quick exit. I'm gonna tell you guys bye right now. I sure appreciate y'all hanging out in the studio with me this morning on this big Sunday. Sorry, Wendy, that we didn't get the chance to play our song because I'm using my phone to do this projection thing. That's why we had to listen to anything while we did it here the whole time. But if I do come back and try to finish this up today, I probably won't stream it, guys, just because this shit is just super boring. I know, like you said, we can't even listen to any music or anything while I'm using the phone for this. So it is what it is. That's why I wanted to get as much as it's done right now. So we got more than 15 done. I think there was 17. We'll try to wrap up the rest of them today. Get them outlined. I can outline them a different day. I just want to get all at least the pencil work done on them. But I hope everybody has a great Sunday, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. We're out of here.